If humans evolved from apes, then why are there still apes sitting in trees right now, completely unbothered, living their best lives? Stay with me, because by the end of this, the way you picture evolution is going to shift. And once it shifts, it does not shift back. Let's slow this down. You've probably heard it since primary school. Humans evolved from earlier primates over millions of years. Natural selection, gradual change, survival of the most adapted. Sounds clean, sounds like a system with a clear direction. So naturally the image builds in your head. Something was an ape, then it changed, then we appeared, like a straight line from one thing to the next. Which means the ape should be gone, right? Because if something evolves into something better suited to survive, the old version gets replaced. That is literally how people understand the word evolved. One thing becomes another. The earlier version steps aside. You do not keep making cassette tapes after the music streaming service launches. Now go outside and look at a chimpanzee, or a gorilla, or an orangutan, still there, thriving, not replaced, not phased out, not even slightly inconvenienced by the fact that humans exist. And your science class never explained that in a way that made the picture feel complete.
If Earth is really a spinning ball covered by oceans, then how does all that water stay spread across every side without sliding toward one place? That question sounds almost too simple, but once it enters your mind, it becomes surprisingly hard to ignore. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why this one question has kept people debating the shape of the world for generations. Think about water for a second. Pour it onto a table and it moves. Tilt the table and it flows. Put it in a bucket and it settles level. Water always seems to follow the same rule. It seeks its level. That's something most of us have seen with our own eyes thousands of times. So when people hear that oceans are wrapped around a spinning globe, some immediately wonder how that fits with what they observe every day. Most people are given a straightforward answer. Gravity pulls everything toward the center of Earth. Water is no exception. According to that explanation, there is no downhill side of the globe because down always points toward the center. Fair enough. But here's where curiosity starts growing. We never actually experience that center. What we experience is water looking flat across lakes, rivers, harbors, and coastlines. Now here's where the question gets more interesting. Stand on a beach, look across the ocean, watch a calm lake at sunrise, watch reflections on still water. To many people, water appears level, stable, and flat. And once that observation gets planted in your mind, a bigger question appears. Are we seeing exactly what we're told we're seeing? But don't stop there, because this next part matters. The debate isn't really about water, it's about trust. Do we trust direct observation first, or do we trust explanations that require us to imagine things we can't directly feel or see? That's where the conversation often becomes much bigger than oceans. Supporters of the flat plane model offer a different interpretation. They argue that water naturally resting level is exactly what we would expect on a broad, stationary surface. In that view, the oceans are not clinging to a globe. They are simply doing what water has always done. Follow for more videos that take simple everyday observations and turn them into questions that are impossible to forget.
Everyday objects that have dark hidden origins. Number 1, Coca-Cola. Most people think it started as a drink. It didn't. It started as medicine. Back in the 1800s, doctors were prescribing it for headaches, tiredness, anxiety. What people didn't know is that it had cocaine in it. Real cocaine. That's why it worked. That's why people kept coming back. Eventually they took it out, but that's how one of the biggest brands in the world got started. Number 2. Treadmills. You pay a monthly fee to use one. Maybe you have one sitting in your house right now. They were invented in British prisons. Inmates were forced to walk on them 8 to 10 hours a day. If you stopped, guards would whip you. It was so brutal they eventually banned it as torture. 100 years later, someone looked at that same machine and thought, let's sell this to people for exercise. Number 3. Chainsaws. A doctor invented this. In 1830, when childbirth went wrong and a C-section wasn't an option, surgeons needed to cut through pelvic bone fast, so they built a small hand-cranked saw to do it. Decades later, someone realized it could cut down trees faster than anything else. Now it's a landscaping tool, but that's not what it started as.